Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and happy late Valentine's Day. Now, I just came back from dinner with my family, and it was great. Then I remembered I had to record a video, since I don't know if you noticed, but it's been a month since my last video. So yeah, I need to start grinding. So here's a video about dungeons. Now, I'm not really going to keep you here for long. This is more of like a rundown of like how people felt for dungeons. Now, let's just go off. Before I actually start though, there will be a timestamp at the screen, or on the screen, not at the screen, what? For when, you know, for when I start talking about PvP stuff, in case some of you are interested in PvP stuff. Now, honestly, in this video, I'm not going to be as into PvP as I was before, but, you know, I will still mention how good the dungeon doodles themselves is, or are, themselves is, are, what? Okay, grammar. And, yeah, so, starting off, Dungeons, when it released, everyone was hyped. I think Dungeons was a good thing to add because it added replayability. Sure, Dungeons takes forever and is kind of boring to look at, but like, regardless, it's still good replayability. It had a lot of new doodles, which was really nice for the game. New doodles is cool. A lot of them are cool. Um, Even though like what 8 of them were made by the same person, there's nothing wrong with that. Though. I like all the doodles. Now, like a week later, people were saying Dungeons wasn't worth the hype or how long it took, and well, people, I mean some people I've seen or talked to. And honestly, what I think is, I don't know. I think Dungeons shouldn't have taken so long, but at the same time, I feel like it was somewhat worth it for how long it took. Because think about it like this: Dungeons taking so long is not ideal. Like, I get Wish was kind of like fighting a mental wall. Um, and yeah, I get that. I get he was fighting a mental wall, and we've all been there. And I think that it was okay for him to like chill out for a bit. However, he kind of took a little too long with that break. You see, or not break. And took a little too long with that burnout. Now, I'm not using this to like say, oh, which Z is lazy. No, like I think he had a valid reason to take forever on dungeons, but like the thing is, it's taking forever on dungeons. Like, I don't really think that's really valid, but at the same time, I think the reasoning was valid. I don't know. But I think dungeons taking so long did kind of kill the hype. But when it actually came out, I think Dungeons was a good update. Even if it was kind of like, like the hype died down in like a week, I think it was still a good update. Even then, like, we apparently still have more dungeon content coming soon. I'm not sure what that content is, but we got that. Also, I think the lore for dungeons is pretty straightforward itself. Basically, you go back in time, you beat up a cult, and I don't know why there's a whole vampire and the Knight of the Souvenir. What is his name? Souvenir? It's on screen. The Knight's on screen. But yeah, you basically just fight a cult until the end, where the cult leader is like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut you up." And here's the thing: it's interesting to see that Lewis was a thing back then, because like the whole cult, I believe, was centered around Lewis, because like the healing room literally has like Lewis stained glass on it, like the glass in the dungeon in the healing tree area has Lewis on it, like it's a holy place. And the guy, like the dungeon master or like the final boss of dungeons, is literally named Lewis, like, or Luis or whatever. So yeah, Lewis definitely is important to the lore, but we don't know that fully. I mean, obviously it's important to the lore because it has a quote unquote fan club centered around it. Let's be straight honest. Let's rip off the band-aid. It's most clearly a cult. There's like the guy says that there's a rule against dressing up as Lewis to make it seem like a cult, but like even if you don't dress up as Lewis, it's literally a cult. Like the guy is like, like he's mad when you break the ice sculpture of Lewis in front of him. It was like, oh, you can't turn back or something. I don't remember fully, but I know he gets mad over it. How, like, dude, you got people saying praise Lewis like this guy's a god? Wait, why am I talking about Lewis? This is a Dungeons video. Anyways, enough about Lewis. Dungeons as an update was good. I think the Doodles were good. I think my only complaint is Dungeons takes a little too long. However, I haven't played it enough to say that really. Like my friend has been like telling me, oh hey, the strat for Dungeons is to just use random misprints you pick up on the way, just abuse those, and you get like high score from it, right? Which yeah, that's fair. I think that's a decent strat. I get it. And overall, I think Dungeons was a good update. It had good replayability. Sure, like base Runic is like faster than Dungeons, but Dungeons is like somewhat fun to do, even though it takes like sometimes 2 hours. I think it only takes 2 hours because of Shroudle. I think Shroudle, when you could use Shroudle. Oh yeah, they also banned Shroudle from being a dungeon starter. Yeah. Basically, Shroudle just made dungeons take longer, I think, because like there's like just a lot of pop-ups you needed to set up to get speed, etc. So yeah, I think Dungeons is good. I have little complaints about it. And some of the complaints I have are kind of like nothing burgers that don't affect other people. Well, maybe how long it takes, but other than that, no, it doesn't really affect other people. And the story for Dungeons is like pretty simple. It's not complex or anything. Like I liked Icy Ridge's storyline, or like the Icy Ridge arc, and I can't wait for like key 6's. Like, is it key 6 or 5? I'm pretty sure it's key 6 because wasn't Icy Ridge key 5? I think Icy Ridge was key 5 because the torch key was revealed, and it's basically the next key. We're going to be doing a tournament for it, and we're apparently going to learn the beats between Henshin, how do you say his name? I don't know. And Mr. Riffraff. So yeah, that's going to be cool. Excited to see that. Overall, I think Dungeons was, yeah, I've said this multiple times, Dungeons was a good update. I don't really have any complaints about it. I just don't know when the rest of the Dungeon Doodles are out. Because, like, one of those already released, Draspodon, and the other two, apparently there's 2 more. We haven't gotten any news on those. So, who knows? Maybe we won't get those guys, and they won't be Dungeon Doodles. But you know what? That's okay. If they don't become Dungeon Doodles, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with what we got. Like, Dungeons could use a few more improvements, but overall, I'm happy with it. I think it's good. Now, let's talk about the PvP stuff, which I'm not going to stay on for long, because I really don't feel like talking about all of the Dungeon Doodles and going in depth and stuff. So yeah, we're going to cut to that now. Alright, so the tier list of the Dungeon Doodles should be on screen now. There's no D tier, because generally none of them are, like, that bad. Like, there's, like, at least 3 meh ones, but, like, overall, none of them are, like, terrible. But, yeah. So we got 3 guys in S tier, 6 guys in A+, which I had to put in A+, because A tier was bloated as heck. Then 4 guys in A tier, 1 guy in B tier, and 3 guys in C tier. And of course, we got Shroudle at the top, because it's literally Shroudle, literally a mythic. This guy is probably broken, if not broken, really, really strong. Anyways, let's put C tier and up. I'm gonna talk about like Trithorn, because Trithorn. Yeah, Trithorn. It is Trithorn. Since Trithorn over the other 2 doesn't really have anything going on. Like it's a plant type that has really good abilities, pretty good coverage. Like it's unwallable basically. However, kind of has nothing else going on with it. Like it has vines, but vines are trash. I guess it has the DNA item, but it's too slow to use that. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, like it's home ground. Its home ground trait is like good, I guess, but like that just forces that forces it to drop one of its moves, and overall, it doesn't have good recovery. Which honestly, I'm okay with it not having good recovery because like the other two abilities are like basically damage reduction, and that's fine. Like menacing snarl and ID post on a plant type, pretty good. Like with snarl, you can swap into like nept better, but like in ID post you can like swap into fire and ice types who don't hit terribly hard. But overall, I think Frithorn is kind of like weird because like when it compared to the other dinosaurs, it's like what does he do? Like, why would I use this over like any other plant type? Now, don't get me wrong. I see at least one use for it, but like, other than that one use, it can't really do anything. Like, marked as a gimmick is kind of bad. Like, having mark as your whole gimmick isn't something you want, especially when you're forced to like drop some of your best moves to run mark, and ideally, that's not something you really want, right? Like you don't really want to drop an important move to run marks because like why would you? You like if you can't slot that move, you can't slot it, and that's not good because like you want ice earth coverage, you want healing, you want plant stab, but you can't run that because like you're forced to drop one of those moves for marking shot or marking bite. Does this even get marking shot? It doesn't. It gets marking bite. So you're forced to run marking bite, and I don't get it. It's just weird. And this guy has other options, like he has sharpen, he has toughen, so you could do stuff with that. But overall, this guy is just what does he do? Sorry. Like I just don't see the appeal. And I don't know. We're gonna talk about Z Pringo now, since it's literally the only thing in B tier. I think Z Pringo has potential. I haven't really tried it myself, so it's kind of forced into B tier. But I know for a fact it's not outright as bad as the other three in C tier. It's just like it's kind of like it's like potential Doodle, like it seems like it could be a decent like fast pivot mind cleaner. I mean, it has offensive mimic. You could probably do something with that. I think what weighs down Z Pringo is the fact that it's quad weak to food. And it may sound weird, but hear me out. You're quad weak to food, so basically you're quad weak to fast food. Hi, guy. You're quad weak to both of those priorities. You're also weak to air and spirit, who aren't as common in priorities, but they're there. But you're quad weak to pie gag. I don't think you really want that in an offensive doodle. Like the offensive typing is nice. Like sure, you're walled by spirits, but you get light coverage to hit those spirits, so you're not really worried about that anyways. But like overall, I mean, it needs. I would need to test this guy more. Like this guy is one of my favorite dungeons doodles, so it kind of sucks that I had to put it in B tier. But like, I have like no experience with this doodle, and like, it's just kind of meh. I don't know. Obviously, like I said, I have to like test it more. I have to like actually test it. I'll probably do that next season, which is in like it's like next week for me. So yeah, like that's like what's his face 6 days. That's like 6 days for me at the time of recording this. So yeah. Anyway, A tier. Let's talk about two things in A tier here. I'll talk about Volcanor. Volcanor in A tier is kind of weird because like people have been dogging on Volcanor, like oh this doodle's bad. Honestly, I've been using Volcanor, and Volcanor is like really, really nice. I enjoyed using Volcanor, and honestly, over everything else in like A tier, maybe even A plus, other than like Velocivolt and Press. I think Volcanor felt better using than everything else. Even like Corbin. I didn't really like using Corbin as a slow pivot because like it felt so weird. It kind of like had Aerosol energy where it was too fast to be a slow pivot for me, but like at the same time it had like good utility to be a slow pivot. So I saw the appeal. It's just I didn't really like using Corbin because it didn't feel good. But Volcanor, it felt like a good offensive fire type. Like sure it missed out on some kills, but like I basically had Life Orb that didn't do damage to me. I did not make contact with my moves, and honestly, it just felt good. Like it got good value every game I used it. I just like Volcanor, and it's like I feel like being like a pure fire type is actually what makes it appealing as an offensive fire type. Like, sure, you don't get like stab boosts like Pikatrix, but like I feel like defensively that's just better for you because you can set up. You have like more setup opportunities than Pikatrix. While Pikatrix is like neutral to ice, which is good. You're weak to air, so you can't really set up on slow pivots. Which Volcanor can do that. He can set up on slow pivots, and that's really nice. I do like how he can just do that. And honestly, I think Volcanor just feels really nice to use. Like, I feel like, yeah, I just said this multiple times. Anyway, let's move on to Gonser. Is it Gonser? I think it's Gonser. Gonsier. It's one of the two. I'm kind of. Oh, my voice is. Oh, I'm dry. Gonseer. I'm just gonna call him Gaunt. Gaunt is like. I don't know. Gaunt, like, when it first came out, everyone thought it was gonna be bad. Because, like, it's an ice metal. It's not Artimech. It's bad. And then, like. Then everyone realized it had direct combat and Arctic Blitz. It also has Shatter, which honestly I don't really think Shatter is all that important. But it's unwallable too, I guess. So essentially, you can like the thing is, it's also pretty decently bulky on the defense side too. So you can like run frickin' max attack. Like you're typing, like the metal typing kind of just lets you sit on the field and set up. And another thing that made Gonseer like pretty good is that the water types in this meta can't really wall it. Like, the only wall you have is Net. Everything else just dies the Gaunt. Like, +2 Gaunt, like, it does things. And, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Because, like, you don't run a Metal Stab. Because why would you run Metal Stab? That's trash. Like, you run Arctic Blitz, Shatter, Quick Ice, and Sharpen, obviously. And that's really good, because, like, the only thing that, like, confidently walls you is, like, Nets and Octonet. Even then, like, Gaunt is, like, kind of it's kind of a Pylon's warrior, where if you pair it with Pylons, it will be nuking everything in its way. And I think that's good. I think that's really good for it. Like, it hits pretty hard because it can invest in hitting hard because of its ability, because of its typing, like the way its stats are oriented. I think it could just do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with it just nuking something. And then you also have, like, I don't know, like Gaunt is like really good. It's not A plus or S, but like it's pretty good. Anyway, what to talk about here? I'm probably gonna talk about like Butter Livian. Butter Livian is kind of like, it's better at Daffodally. I don't know. This guy has been like nerfed like what's his face 3 times already. Yeah, 3 times. Like it lost Mind Empowerment, it lost Compose and Compose and Enlightenment. And I'm pretty sure it's like losing coverage next patch. I'm not too sure. That might not even get in. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, Butter Livian has been through a few nerfs, but it's still pretty good and deserves to be an A plus. Like it's like strong priority in Nectar Sip. Mind Drain is like also threatening because like Darks can't wall you. Most metal types can't swap into you because of Energy Wave. And then you can always just like hit and run. Like it has hit and run now, so you could use it as like an offensive pivot, which is really good for it because you don't need to if you don't want to hit the metal type, you can just like click hit and run and have something else deal with it. Like I don't know, Gigatrix or something. And Butter Livian overall is just I don't like it. It's not fun to deal with because like, dude, people are like so weird with it because like some guy in like a tournament like a few weeks ago ran like Weird Jelly and swept like Bergie with it. Like, dude, I like built a team for Bergie, and this guy was just getting destroyed because he didn't know what to do. Like he clicks pylons in front of the Butter Livian instead of clicking hit run. I don't understand the thought process, but you know what? I'm not Bergie. I'm not gonna dog on that guy. I can't. Okay, no. This is not hate video. I don't want Bergie hate. So we're gonna stop talking. Anyway, Butter Livian is good. Very good. Case closed. I technically already talked about Corbin. Let's talk about Velocible. Velocible, as many people know, but if you don't know, it is now currently sitting at the fastest doodle in the game with an 157 speed stat. And it has so much going for it. It has the DNA item, like I said, because it is a dino. It is one of the dinos. And all the dinos have a DNA item exclusive for them and them only that is essentially lethal ornament, but without the chip damage. So Velocible, being the fastest thing in the game by at least I would say like 10 points from like Lepid Honk. That is like 10 points, right? I think it's somewhere around there. It's 10 points. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But yeah. It also has like a decent attack stat. It's like 90. It's like 93. So like, here's the thing. Velocible doesn't need to invest any speed at all. You do not need to invest any speed on Velocible. You can just go max attack and not care. Because its signature move is also really good. It's like a 95 base electric move, that hits Earth types for not very effective. That's really good because that means your signature move is spammable. It also pairs with its ability, Short Circuit, that disables items for 3 turns when you hit them. Now, you will still take chips from Spiky Thorns the moment you hit them, but afterwards, the item will be disabled, so you will no longer take Spiky Thorns chip. I think the effect like wears off if they swap out for like 3 whole turns and then come back in. Like it wears off, but still, that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Now, Velocible has pretty nice coverage. It has melee coverage. Technically beast coverage because of Ravenous Rush, but at the same time, no, not really. Yeah, its coverage is decent. However, you don't even use dark coverage because you'd rather the priority FTL gives. FTL also allows you to not be walled by like Twistler, because who wants to be walled by the candy snakes? Like who wants to be walled? It's like if a Twistler is like half health and you click sharpen in front of it, you are going to murder that thing. Like it is going to be dead. So yeah, even then, if you don't like click sharpen, you can like click you can click like breakneck and do like a chunk of its health because like you're just running max attack. And this thing also has more options. Like it has pursuit, sharpen, final gambit, a taser. You're not running crackling static or taser, but that's whatever. It has force repetition, scapegoat, ender, Pylons, it has a lot of options. It also has disarm, but disarm's kind of bad when you just disable items. Why would you run that? Anyway, basically Velocivolt deserves to be an A+, and I think Velocivolt, from experience, is a really good doodle. Now, for the S tier doodles, which is going to be really easy since there's basically only two of them. There's two Pikatrixes for each gender, but we're not going to talk about each gender. Let's talk about Terrafin. Terrafin is probably one of the best slow pivots in the game, if not the best. It just has everything. Light Air is a pretty decent defensive typing. The only thing you don't like about the typing is that you are now neutral to plant. And sometimes I do not like plant neutrality because of Springling. But we'll talk about Springling in another video, maybe. But overall, Terrafin actually has, like, all of its traits are really good. Like, you got Robust to swap out, get rid of, like, status. You got Premonition to be immune to hazards. But you also have Warden, which I'd argue is one of the best defensive traits in the game. Terrafin also has pretty decent bulk. 92 health, 108 defense, 86 magical defense. Like, that's pretty good. That's better than Clap, who, we're not going to talk about that guy, but that's better than him. It also has a lot of good defensive utility. Like, you got Commanding Blow, you got Mock Charge, I don't think you're ever using Force Repetition, but that's sure. You got Trade, you got Crit Up, you got Taunt, you got Pylons, you got Hazard Removal. And yeah, it's a slow pivot. You also got Purge. Yeah, you have Purge. Like, just Terrafin has, like, so many options. And Terrafin just is really good into the meta because, like, how good its defensive typing is. Like, you cannot get rid of Terrafin. If Terrafin is still around in the late game, I can guarantee you that Terrafin will somehow ruin your day, like, in late game. Because late game Terrafin can be either used as a sack or a way to get, like, the cleaner in safely. And it really depends on how healthy the Terrafin is. Like, you know, I don't know. But I think that's enough about Terrafin. Let's go to Pikatrix. Pikatrix, I'm only going to talk about female, and I'll only talk about male a little bit, but Pikatrix is basically Fire type Veloda on crack. Now, Fire melee type as an offensive typing is pretty decent. You are not fully walled by anything, and the top of that all, you have Pivot and Priority, which changes depending on your gender, and it's non-contact from female. So yeah, that's cool. Non-contact Priority to pair with your Hit and Run and your really strong stabs. The only punishment you get is that you activate Thorns, which male avoids. So that is one thing to use male over. Male ignores spiky thorns and defense-oriented abilities. So like strong armor, menacing snarl, that stuff. However, female has the advantage in terms of move powers because it gets both Raging Bonfire and Unguarded Strike. So yeah, basically, if you want to use male to avoid all of that, just note you're going to be using the one with the weaker moves. But I think that's a Pikatrix gender really depends on the team you're running. Like, if you need a magical attacker, use male. If you need a physical attacker, use female. It don't matter. Anyway, Pikatrix is annoying. Why is Pikatrix annoying? Because it does so much damage. There's only so little things that can actually swap the Pikatrix female. Like, you got Monologue, Terrafin, like, Neps, and Zerzera. Even then, Zerzera is not even the safe option, because that could, for some reason, be packing, like, Toxic Bomb or Venom Bite. Why? I don't know. Ask the people who run the set. And the thing is, when you run Pikatrix, you're usually running another offensive thing that abuses the Pikatrix pair. For example, probably an electric type to threaten, like, I don't know, like Nept, Terrafin, the depressed bird. Not monolink though. You would have to use a plant type for that, which is actually something you should probably use instead. Like you should probably use a plant type instead of an electric type, because a plant type, a magical one, let's say Fluffy. Fluffy hits all of those guys for neutral, and honestly, I think Leaf Tornado Fluffy probably kills the bird. Not Terrafin, that's a turtle. Probably kills the depressed bird, I think, with Henrod Chip. So, I think if you just pair with an offensive like plant or maybe anything in general to hit your walls, Pikatrix you can see as a problem. Now, male Pikatrix can just drop hit and run entirely for Toxic Bomb. His Toxic Bomb, for some reason, is an option it can run. Why? I don't know. It didn't need it. I don't know why it has it, but it has it. Whatever. And I do not like that. So, Pikatrix and Terrafin are kind of the kings of the dungeon doodles when it comes to viability. And, well, other than Shroudle, you really can't really use Shroudle. He's banned. Don't worry about Shroudle, actually. And I don't know. I think the person who made all the dungeon doodles did a good job at them, except for Trithorn. I don't know what he was cooking with Trithorn. Trithorn, dude, he was smoking something for Trithorn, bro. What does this guy do? Anyway, I think that's enough for me yapping about dungeons. Overall, dungeons was a good update. The doodles are pretty decent. Well, most of them are good. At least 4 of them are meh. So, yeah, I think going forward, if they add more dungeon doodles, I pray that none of them are as broken or as strong as Terrafin and the Pikatrixes, and none of them are as bad as Trithorn. Well, the current Trithorn. I think Trithorn's getting a buff. I can't be sure though. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, happy late Valentine's Day. This should be coming out today if I'm not too lazy with editing, which I shouldn't be. I should be on editing. I should be on it today. Just saying. But I hope you guys had a nice Valentine's Day yesterday, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever I decide to upload.